Hello, everybody, and welcome to our Bachelorette Live. We have so much to talk about because Michelle and her remaining men have flown to her hometown in Minnesota, and we are live to talk about what has been going down this season and what we can expect in the last half of the season because, Gianna, we are midway through the season. So as always, I'm your host, Zachary Reality, joined by the lovely Gianna Gravelisi. Gianna, we're halfway through the season, if not more than halfway. We're down to 8 guys after last night's episode. How are you doing? How do you think the season has been going? Give me your honest thoughts.
My honest thoughts. First of all, I'm doing great. Thank you for asking. But to be honest, I am like counting down the weeks for this season to be over. I'm still exhausted. Like each week is getting harder and harder to watch. I'm really not that entertained. Like the little sprinkle of drama last night was the most excitement we've had in the last couple of weeks. But other than that, I'm bored. And it's sad because like I love Michelle. It's not Michelle. It's just like the guys and the season overall. It's just like it's not giving me anything. It's I don't know. I'm just not into it.
Well,
So
let me
I'm
ask
waiting
you.
for it to be over.
Yeah. Let me ask you this. Do you think it's just because like, people are just Bachelor fatigued as we are and it's like the timing of everything? Or do you think it's just because Michelle and the men are just like not giving it like as much drama as we're used to? Like, is it that or is it the timing of the season?
I think it's a little bit of both, but I am going to blame the timing of the season more so because think about it. Like when you're watching a Netflix show, yeah, sometimes once in a blue moon, if there's a couple episodes, we'll sit down and start from the first episode and finish the whole season in one day. But like with any show, like you don't want to watch it week after week after week. Like you want to watch it on your own time. You need a break from it sometimes. But with the Bachelor franchise, I mean, we went from season to Paradise to Michelle's season, and then we're gonna have another season after this. It's like we're exhausted. It's been week after week for what, like over a year now, if you look at it in the bigger picture. Like it's just been a lot for Bachelor fans, and I just think also the minimal drama and the only drama that we've had so far has been either like fake or just like not really good drama at all. So I
Yeah.
mean, I don't know. I'm curious to hear everyone else's thoughts about it too. So
You know, I don't even think that it's just us who are Bachelor fatigued. I think the producers are Bachelor fatigued too, and that's why they're not giving us good drama. I mean, the Bachelor casting department is probably exhausted from trying to find all these new men from 2 seasons this year. So I don't even think it's just you, Gianna, or the people watching. I really think that even people on the actual show behind the scenes are just not giving us what we're used to. And I don't know if they just put their all into Paradise and then just were like, all right, we got one more season. But yeah, I am on the same page with you. It has not been the best season at all. I think it's probably been one of the worst seasons of all time, to be completely honest, because that's what we're here to be. However, I'm invested because it's The Bachelor and I'm always invested. And as we are down to 8 guys, I finally know everyone's name and I'm more invested because the last few episodes, Gianna, are always the best. When it gets down to the final, like 8, 10, they're going to be doing hometowns in a couple weeks. They're going to be traveling to Mexico the last couple of weeks. Like, we do have things to look forward to. And maybe this season will surprise us at the end with a big drama or scandal because there always is when it's the final few. So do you at least have hopes for that, Gianna, that something crazy could happen in the final few weeks?
oh, I mean, absolutely. And as we saw in the preview last night, which we will get into on this live a little bit later, it
Yes.
does look like stuff goes down. We saw tears from everyone, Michelle, the men. We saw like everyone looked really stressed, and it looks like it's going to get hectic. So, I mean, I'm excited to see how the rest of the season plays out. And I really do have hope. So I'm not going to give up just yet. And I can't give up because
Yes.
we got to talk about all the tea that's going on still. I can't not deliver it to you people.
Exactly. And there is one clip, like you said, we were going to get into it, but I'll tease you guys. There was something going on in a trailer that I saw between Clayton and Nayte. Apparently, they're going to have like a feud. So, like, that is the tea I want to see. I don't want to see this BS Chris S drama that means nothing. I want to see like good tea from our front runners. So, we do have something to look forward to. So, I'm excited about it. But let's get into this episode. Let's start breaking down some of these dates. Before we get into it, I want to remind everyone to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell so you're notified because we cover Bachelor Nation all year long, whether it's a boring episode or there's some juicy drama between Hannah and Peter. We got you all covered over here on Shared News. So make sure you guys are subscribed and ring the bell so you never miss out. But let's get into this this episode because Joe got the first one-on-one date of the week, which is very fitting considering they are now in Minnesota and Michelle and Joe are both from Minnesota. Michelle seemed very in her element as she was driving him around the city. They went to a baseball game and shared a kiss on a jumbotron, and I think a lot of us remembered seeing the pictures of Joe and Michelle months ago because something that really got my interest now that they're in Minnesota, Gianna, is they have entered the real world. There was a shot of all the guys walking through the city. The last couple of years, because of the quarantine, they've been in a bubble in New Mexico, in wherever it was in Pennsylvania, Nemacolin. They are officially in the real world. So what do you think is going to be the adjustment with the guys and even spoilers? I mean, now people are going to be able to spot them, or when they were in Minnesota back in the day, this is where spoilers come out. So we're not going to give any spoilers away, but what are your thoughts of this transition to bubble to real world?
I mean, I love that we're getting back into the real world, with this whole pandemic, not even just reality TV and The Bachelor
Yes.
being in a bubble. I love that we're all finally hopefully getting out of our bubbles. I do think that hopefully, I hope for the men now that they are in the real world and, Joe and Michelle are walking down the streets of Minnesota holding hands. I hope that
Yeah.
this makes everybody think a little bit more. And I feel like when they were in the bubble, it was more so oh, this is a show. And yeah, I will get engaged at the end. And they were making a false reality in their head. But I hope that being out and about in these cities and states and having people take pictures of them and being seen together, I hope it's kind of a slap in the face to be hey, this could be your future. Do you like it or do you not? Is this what you want? So I hope
Yeah.
it's going to make everyone take this process a little more seriously now that they're out and about back in the real world.
Yeah, do you remember seeing the pictures of Michelle and Joe at this baseball stadium? Because I immediately saw them because I follow every Bachelor Nation account on Instagram. So I was like, oh, of course Joe got this one-on-one date. And what did you think of the two of them together? They seemed like they were vibing in their hometown. It felt like a very comfortable date for the two of them.
Yeah, I mean, I totally remember seeing those pictures all over Twitter and where we were trying to zoom in and be who is that? Which one of the guys is that?
Yeah.
Then found out it was Joe. And it does make total sense that she took him on this hometown date. It's kind of like for Michelle, the only encounter they had before the show started was that little DM exchange that we still don't know a lot about. And he apparently ghosted her. And I think that Michelle wanted to use this opportunity to really get to know him and dive a little bit deeper rather than just in the Insta DMs. So being in
Yeah.
both of their hometowns that they share, I think that this was a perfect opportunity for them. They definitely were vibing. And like you said, they seemed so comfortable, which is the most important thing to me in a relationship is to just be comfortable. And it's even dating in our own lives, Zach. It's do you want to fly to a random state and go on a date with a stranger in a place that you're not familiar with, or do you want to meet somebody here that's also from where you're from and go on a date and you're seeing the local spots that you both know and you're going to this arena that you both know about. I think that's just a much better foundation to start a relationship on. And I don't think it would have worked if she took any of the other guys on the date, because the guy would have been what's this arena? What's this team? I'm not really familiar with it. So I think that they vibed. I think this was a great day. And I have high hopes for Joe.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you bring up an interesting point because they both are from Minnesota and they've known of each other for years. I would have liked this date to provide us more clarity on what their relationship was or how they knew each other or if they've heard of each other since they were kids, since they both played competitive basketball. I would have liked this date to kind of bring more clarity to that. And I still feel like we have unanswered questions on what their relationship truly was before the show. They did kind of shut it down in the beginning with Jamie and that whole thing, but I still feel like there was more to the story. And we saw on this one date that Michelle took Joe to her high school and she showed him her locker. She kissed him in front of his locker. And I was like, yes, girl, kiss him in front of the locker. She even showed him her yearbook and where the basketball court that Michelle used to play on. And the whole time, Gianna, I was thinking, I was like, did Joe go to high school here too? Has he ever played basketball here? Because their lives were so intertwined and connected. So I just was kind of what is really going on? Has he been here before? I mean, Gianna, taking your boyfriend to your high school, is that romantic? Because that would just bring me major PTSD.
I would never and I mean never, take a significant other
Never.
to my high school. Like you put it perfectly, PTSD. Like I have no good memories from my high school. Like my high school experience is not something that I want to look back on with my boyfriend. It was like a very dark time for me. I hated it, and I would just like I would not want to drag him into it unless, you know, it's one of those things where it's like we both went here and like let's like laugh about the crappy memories that we both have here or something. But if it was a new boyfriend that didn't go to that school, I wouldn't be like, hey, want to go see my high school that I'm traumatized by? Like that sounds fun.
Yeah,
So
I
yeah, that's a
couldn't.
hard no from me. Totally.
But I would bring my boyfriend to like my childhood house, like where I grew up, because I felt like that
Yeah.
meant something to me, and like I have happy memories there.
Yeah.
I also have horrible memories there. But like I felt like that is something that is like cute. Like I get it, like driving your like boyfriend around like your town or maybe even to your college. So I did think it was cute. But like in the high school, like I don't know if I could do that. But like we have to talk about this because Joe and Michelle have so much in common. Like they probably have more in common than anyone else on the show. Basketball, Minnesota, just like their upbringings, everything they're so aligned. Do you think that Joe and Michelle are endgame? Is this their love story? Is this their perfect match? Or is there some ulterior motive of Joe waiting until they were old enough to be on a TV show to make a move on her, considering he's known she's existed for years and could have answered that DM a long time ago?
Wow, Zach. I love everything that you just said, truly, because it's true. I mean, it's like, why didn't you pursue her in the DMs? You know, we've seen love come from the DMs, you know, like people have gotten married from
We
meeting each
have
other in the DMs. Like there's
babies.
hope. So it's like, why didn't he act on it? And then he's like, oh, I'm gonna go on the show. Like, and if I were Michelle, I would have been like, why are you here? Now, like, which they kind of did, and he said he was in a dark place and that's why he ghosted her, but I still would have
But
pushed
then
and
what
been like,
about months
so you
later?
didn't exactly. I'm like, you didn't want to reach out and be like, hey, actually I'm gonna be on your season, like, can I sign up? But I don't get it. I don't
Literally.
I want to say yes, they are endgame because I think in this moment right now, they look so cute together. Their date was adorable. I think they do look great
Yeah.
and comfortable together, but I think it's too good to be true, to be honest with you. Everything is too good. Like what's his baggage? What's going on deep down in his brain? Is he not into the
Mhm.
relationship? Like maybe at the end of the day he won't be into it. And I think when we review the preview, we're going to hear Michelle express concern about somebody, you know, being more or her being more into it than somebody else. So it's like, is that about Joe? Like
Ooh.
I'm expecting something to go wrong, and that's when the drama is going to unfold for sure.
But you think he's gonna go to the top like four, let's say. Like he's definitely in it for the
Yeah,
long haul.
for sure. I
Okay.
think so.
I can't wait for his hometown then to see like because it's not like they have to go very far. Like they're already in his
Yeah.
hometown. So it'll be interesting to see how that, transpires with Joe. I mean, he's definitely one of the key players or key contestants this season. So I'm invested in their story and I want to remind everyone that we have a live Q&A at the end of the video. We want to hear from you guys. What do you think of Michelle's season? What are your thoughts on Joe? Leave them in the question tab right now. Leave it in the comments. We're going to read them and get to them later. And we can't wait to hear what the rest of Bachelor Nation thinks because, everyone has different opinions. We all see things from different sides. But let's move on to the group date because the men headed to a Vikings football stadium. So we're going from one stadium to the next. The show has truly become all about sports. And instead of playing football, Michelle called out actual Vikings to teach the boys all about what it means to be a Viking. They had to compete in a series of competitions, including throwing logs, eating raw fish, and of course, arm wrestling. Gianna, I want to know, this is going to be funny. How would you have fared with this? Do you think you have what it takes to be the ultimate Viking? And who do you think would win out of our shared news hosts? Who do you think would be the ultimate Viking?
You know what? I really do think I have what it takes because,
Me
you know,
too.
I
I
be
do.
working
I think you
out
would win.
pretty much all the time. You know me, I'm very aggressive. I am like in things to win them. I'm doing things
And you're
either
loud.
100% and I'm so loud. I got that Viking scream down
Mhm.
pat. I won't do it right
You
now because
do.
we probably have headphone
Don't do it.
users and I don't
Save
want to
us.
I'm not gonna scream on this live, but you know what, Zach, I think I would win. But I mean, the eating part, I don't know if I would be eating all that raw stuff. So maybe someone else in the shared news group might want to do that because
And I
I'm
don't think any
totally
of us
staying
would. This like it felt like Fear Factor for a second. And honestly, like if I was ever on The Bachelor, like I would not eat that disgusting fish. Like I don't have anything to prove to Michelle. Like I'm not eating that. Like you're
away.
not gonna not marry me because I don't want to eat disgusting fish. So I wouldn't do it, even if the producers like asked me to. Like they can't force it. Like I would not do that. That some of these challenges are just ridiculous. But Clayton ended up winning the ultimate Viking, and he scored some extra time with Michelle during the night portion of the group date. They were able to connect, and Clayton even scored the group date rose. I think this is the first time Clayton has truly gotten a solid airtime edit the entire season. Like we're finally getting to know him better, and he's starting. I mean, this was his episode. He shined. So, what did you think about Clayton and like Michelle, or just Clayton in general?
I feel like he totally had this group date in the bag for what like getting this challenge because
Mm,
he was an NFL player. His most
yeah.
comfortable self is on a football field. Like even though this wasn't his team, I think that he feels comfortable there, and that's why he allowed himself to really come out of his shell and thrive. And I think that's exactly why he got extra time with Michelle, and like we really did see a totally different side of him. We've been joking all this season and all throughout these lives and video
Mm-hmm.
shoots. It's like, who's Clayton? Like he's our
Who's
next bachelor,
Clayton?
but we don't know him. Like, are the producers like just hiding him to protect him? Like, what's going on? But I feel like this was like Clayton's episode. We really did see him. I
Hmm.
don't know, like I don't really feel a connection between these two, like in my heart. And I don't think it's just because like we know that he is the next bachelor. Like
Yeah.
I just don't see them vibing. Like I think they both do like each other, but I don't think they're good together. If that makes any sense. I don't know if you agree or disagree.
It
That's just how
does.
I feel about
No, I agree. I don't think they have like a solid connection, but they have a friendship, and I feel like she respects him and likes him more than some of the other guys in the house, like Martin and Chris, and like just a few of the other guys who are probably gonna go home next week. But somebody who really stood out to me on the group date was Brandon J. I remember he ran up to her and gave her like a quick kiss, and then she was like, "Oh, his breath smells like fish." But he is smitten by Michelle, and he is getting a lot of airtime. I'm totally putting him in my top four, and I think she really likes him, and I think he's really, really sweet. I think he's probably gonna get heartbroken though because he has like puppy dog eyes for her, and like he had his birthday moment at the cocktail party. He just turned 27, and like he just seems really sweet. But I feel like the producers and the editors are gearing it up for him to get a big heartbreak. Who was someone else that stood out to you on the group date, or did you really like Brandon J as well?
Oh, well, yeah, I was gonna say if you asked that, like Brandon J was like shoving the fish in the raw kidney and whatever the hell else they were eating. Like he was shoving it in his mouth and down his throat. Like while the other guys were kind of staring at him, like, oh my god, he's really doing this right now. And Michelle even said that she saw his efforts and the fact that he was giving her kisses,
Mm,
and he really listened to her last week about when she said that she didn't feel seen, and he's like, his goal was to make sure that she does feel seen, and like he is head over heels for Michelle. Like
he
there's
is.
no doubt about it. So I agree with you. I do think that he's going to get heartbroken because like I mean, she doesn't reciprocate the feelings that he
Yeah, she
shows for
doesn't.
her to him, like she's like, oh, like I'll never make you eat like gross stuff ever again. And then this was such an awkward moment. Like I don't know if you remember this last night, like when Michelle was about to give the group date rose out, she's like, Brendan, you know what, you tried so hard today. Clayton, you're amazing. It's for Clayton. And I'm just like, I thought she was gonna like go down all the guys because she started with Brandon, but I'm like, oh my god, she like called him out, got his hopes up, and then was like, Clayton, actually it's for you. And I was just like, oh my god, this poor little like person. I felt so bad because he's like all in for her, and we heard him
No,
even
he
say that
is.
last night. So
Yeah, they've been doing that the past couple of years where the producers will tell the lead, name two or three people who had like a highlight and like say one thing you like about them and then hand out the group date rose. So it's not like Michelle just like did that on purpose. Like this is a very produced
yeah,
reality show. We all know that. A few of the other guys
right.
I really liked. I really liked Alu, and I like Rick, and Martin is someone I just don't like. He always puts his foot in his mouth. I like Rodney. I think he's funny. And a couple of the other guys went home, so like they had no airtime. Casey and Leroy were the two guys to go home. Is there any other guys you like, or should we just kind of move on?
I just want to agree with you because I really thought Martin was going home. I despise him. Like
Me
everything he
too.
says, I'm
He
just
needs
like,
to
why
go.
are you talking? Like, why did you just say that? Like, first he said, what did he say last night? That really grinded my gears. He said that
High
women were high
maintenance.
maintenance. It's like, dude, what? Are you kidding me? Like, I've met so many men that are beyond high maintenance mama's boys. It's like, why did he make that
Peter.
general assumption? It made me mad. And I thought he was going, but Michelle kept him for some
And
reason,
Martin,
or
well,
yeah.
someone has to say for the drama. And Martin, out of all people calling anyone high maintenance, I mean, he's the one who has blonde frozen tips, so he's dyeing his hair every other month. And he also has the eyebrow slit, which is just so cringy. And all of his tattoos. I mean, Martin probably is the most high maintenance out of all of the guys, taking care of his appearance. So I just can't
Yep.
with him, but I'm sure he'll go home next week. And all of the guys were actually able to spend time and move their connections forward on the group date, except for Chris S. And we're going to get more into that after we talk about Nate's one-on-one date. But Gianna, I'm really curious, and if you're on the same page with me, do we think Michelle intentionally ignored Chris S during this group date? Because I am envisioning her telling the producers, I don't want to see Chris S, like, just ignore him. Or do you think there truly was just not enough time and Chris S just, like, didn't make a move?
No, I don't think that she was ignoring him on purpose at all. I think that he
Ooh.
really secluded himself and he left himself out of the activities. He didn't want to eat the fish. And even Michelle said like even his demeanor, like he just looked like he didn't want to be there. And it's like all these other guys are like running up to Michelle, giving her a kiss, like screaming. Like he barely even screamed. Even one of the Viking was like, "You call that a Viking scream?
Yeah.
Like really?" Like he just wasn't trying. So I think Michelle clearly is the type of woman that's like, okay, like he's not trying. I'm not giving him the time of day then. Like Michelle isn't out here
Mhm.
chasing these guys. Like these group dates are opportunities for the guys to chase Michelle and get that little moment with her and that little bit of extra time with her. And he did nothing. He genuinely was expecting Michelle to be like, oh, Chris S, like, thank you. Thank you so much for telling me what you told me about Nate. Like, you're amazing. You know what? Group date Rose, you don't even have to try. Like, he
Yeah.
fully was basically he said
Checked
last
out.
night expecting her to do that. And obviously she was doing her own thing. Like it's not her place to go chase after these men. Like she's the bachelorette. They are there for her. They need to make an effort and he made zero effort. So he dug
Well,
himself in his
especially
own
with Chris
grave.
S. Yeah, especially with Chris S, someone that she honestly probably doesn't even like. Like she can't like all of the guys. Like some of them just have to stay on the show for a certain
Right.
amount of weeks. So it's not like if it was someone else who maybe she had a stronger connection with, maybe she would have taken that more seriously. But Chris S just seems like a joke on the show. Like nothing he says adds up, and I feel like I personally think Michelle just like told producers to just make sure that Chris S is not anywhere near her because I feel like she is just not interested in him, and she probably would have sent him home a while ago. I mean, Chris S just seemed checked out. So, I mean, we're going to get into him more in a few minutes, but let's talk a little bit about our second one on one date with Nate. This is the long awaited date that everyone's been waiting for. Nate got the first one on one or the first group date, the first impression rose is what Nate has received. Okay, so you know that they had a connection. They went for a boat ride on Lake Winnipeg, and Michelle even brought two of her best friends to grill Nate on the boat. How excited were you to see Nate on this one on one date with Michelle, and what did you think of her friends coming in? They were a little aggressive.
Oh, I mean, aggressive as they should be. I mean, if I brought a guy around my two best friends, I can already picture them in my head. They would have done the same thing, probably even worse, to be honest with you. They probably would have made him jump off the boat and swim back to wherever they're staying. So I loved every minute of this. And like the fact that like Michelle was bringing him around her friends, it's like that says a lot. Like to meet your best friends, like that
Yeah.
has to mean that someone is special to you. And like I love Nate. I think he's my like top pick. Like needs to get engaged to Michelle. Like I literally am rooting for him. So I loved this date and like he was so respectful and like wholesome and like he explained what was happening with like Chris S too and he said it was a big
Uh-huh.
misunderstanding. So I just loved this moment and I was so happy for them and yeah, I'm rooting for them so much. He's literally my
She
favorite.
likes him. I like Nayte too. Like, I want to make that. I do like Nayte, and I feel like it says something that she introduced her friends to Nayte and not Joe, because she could have introduced to both of them. But my issue with
Mm.
Nayte is I just don't feel like he wants Michelle, like what wants all of what she has. Like, I just can't imagine Nayte moving to Minnesota and like having kids. I just feel like he wants to stay young and like be Bachelor fame and like just kind of live life. Like, I just feel like he's at a different stage than Michelle, who is taking this so seriously. She has her full-time teaching job. She wants that picket fence. Like, do you think that Nayte and Michelle would work after the show? Because I would be so annoyed if she picked Nayte and they broke up just because Katie and Blake just broke up. So then we would be 0 for 2 in this Bachelorette year.
I mean, I would be really upset if that happened. Like, I'd rather her, unfortunately, because I don't want to see her heartbroken, but I'd rather her just like not
Yeah.
get engaged to anybody in the end than see her get engaged to Nate and be like, yay, and then be disappointed a couple months later. Like you said, that Katie and Blake, that just happened. And like, we all saw that coming from a while away. I mean, come on. But yeah, I mean, I guess you bring up an interesting point with Nate. Like, I didn't really get that vibe fully, but
Yeah.
totally see what you're saying. And that's always, again, like I said way earlier, I'm hoping that him being in Minnesota with her really makes him think about, does he want this for real? And is he taking this
Yeah.
seriously? So maybe,
And he
maybe he'll
is.
have a
I mean, he's showing he
revelation.
is.
So yeah, yeah.
He's showing
We'll
he
see
is
what
on the
happens.
show, but I just don't know in the long haul. I like so something just seems like they wouldn't last together forever. Like, they just seem like two different people. But like, let them prove me wrong, because I really do feel like he has shown maturity on the show, even with the Chris S situation and this whole him crashing the date. Like, I feel like he was the bigger person. So I don't know why I think that. I just like, it's just maybe like what I've seen like outside of the show, like on Instagram and like just their
Hmm.
personalities. I just don't know if I would ship them long haul. But as far as them on the show, it's clear that Michelle likes him the most, if not one of the most, out of all the guys there. So we'll have to kind of see what happens. It wouldn't surprise me if Nayte was in the top 4. But we have to talk about Chris S crashing the date. Gianna, what was your reaction to Chris S crashing the date? Because this seemed producer driven. It's like he gets no time and then all of a sudden he crashes the date. This was his way out as well. I was not surprised that he went home right then and there.
Yeah, I mean, it's so funny because just last week, you and I were trying to predict what was going to
Figure it
happen
out.
from last week's trailer. And you were like, Chris S is crashing. And I was like, no, he can't. He's not going to do that. But like, come on, Gianna. Like, this is the Bachelorette. Like, obviously, that was going to
Of
happen.
course
So
he is.
I wasn't too surprised when it actually happened just because we were kind of talking about it and expecting it. But the audacity, where did he get the audacity? Like Chris S. I mean, he's gone now, but like, sit down. Sit down. Who did he think he
Literally.
was in that moment? He thought he was this knight in shining armor saving her. And again, I just think this was, like you said, a very producer, like, hey, like, Chris, you want to go crash their date? Like, I think you should. And they probably forced him to. So, and it's just crazy to
Yeah.
me. Like, he also like doesn't really show emotion. Like, the faces that he makes are very fake. Like, he's like, "What are you saying, Michelle?" And it's like, in the conversation that they had, I was just like, this guy is trash. Like, and he said, what did he say? He was like, you were ignoring me, like trying to make himself the victim
Yeah.
in the
The
situation. And it's
victim.
so funny because Michelle from the get-go was just not having it. She's like you could tell
She
she's
was
like, I'm
so
not even
unbothered.
listening. Like, I'm about to send this guy home anyway. So it was cringy to say the least to see how
It
all this
was
went down. And I'm just like,
uh,
bye.
it was so cringy and just unnecessary. I mean, I'm glad that she sent him home, because, and maybe she would have sent him home on the group date if he had time. Like, it was just like that next conversation. But I mean, Nayte was so annoyed too. And I feel like Nayte handled it as well as he possibly could. He kind of just mumbled under his
Yes.
breath, "It's so weird. Why are you here?" And like, I just didn't understand Chris S's whole point of anything. Like, if he was going to be our villain, or he was just going to make like a statement, like nothing he said made sense. And it was just like, was his issue with Nayte? Was his issue with not hearing people? Who knows? Maybe we'll find out at the Men Tell All, which is rumored to be filming this week. It might even be filming today, actually. So he will be released and announced in the next few days. So keep out for that. We'll be keeping you updated. But Nayte ended up getting the rose. They had fireworks. Michelle even revealed, not to Nayte, but to like the camera in a voiceover, it's B-roll, everyone, that she's falling in love with Nayte. What do we think about this, Gianna?
I mean, again, because I love him and he's my favorite, I'm just like, yay! Like, I'm rooting for them. And again, like we talked about a few weeks back, who was getting that fireworks date because we know that that is a great sign. That's good news. That means they are a
Mhm.
very special person and most likely going to be in the top four. So the fact that Nayte and her got it, like, it just makes me happy. My heart is warm. And this is the first time we're hearing Michelle say something like this. And again, it's like this whole
I
season has been
know.
so dry. I feel like we've gotten nothing. Like, I couldn't even remember anything Michelle has said the last couple episodes. And like, this is a moment that's just like in my brain and stuck with me. So I'm like, all right, like, things are heating up finally. And like, thankfully, like, this is what I am watching this show for. This is what I want to see.
I'm happy to hear that she's really falling in love and that the process is going to work for her because I just wasn't sure at first. But the season is heating up, so we're going to start looking at the mid-season trailer. We have some clips to go through on what we can expect in the next few episodes. Gianna, there's probably like 4 episodes left. I think there's one more episode, then it's hometowns, then they're going to Mexico, Men Tell All after the final rose. Like, we do have a lot more episodes to look forward to, so we're going to try piecing some of this together. And after we go through the episodes, we're going to open it up to you guys. So if you have any questions, any tweets, tweet us, leave it in the comments below. Let us know what your thoughts are. It could be about Michelle's season, or it could be about anything else going on in Bachelor T. So let's take a look at this first clip. Let's see.
These men are putting everything out there for me.
When you know it's real, you know it's real.
With her, everything is perfect.
Okay, I mean, here's the thing, and I don't want there's no spoilers, but like, we're detectives. So if you do not want to be a detective with us, now would be the time to exit because we are going to be dissecting this trailer. We know that Michelle
Yes.
heads to Mexico later on in the season. Unless this is Brandon's hometown, and I don't know where he's from, Brandon is making it to Mexico. Like, this is a good sign. Look at them. They are so cute. I want Brandon to win.
Oh, okay. I mean, you have such a great point. I'm just going back to what we said, like, when's he getting heartbroken? Is he gonna be like the runner up? And that's how he gets heartbroken? Like, because
Maybe.
clearly he is going far. And I mean, he's been getting a lot of screen time, so I'm not surprised. This
Mhm.
shouldn't be really a surprise to anybody, especially after that group date of him shoving the fish down his throat. Like, it's like clear that he's going far. So I mean, proof is in the pudding. I hope they work out. I hope he doesn't get his heart broken. But again, it's just like one of those too good to be true things. And he's like obsessed with her. I want to see her, like, again,
Yeah.
reciprocate those feelings a little bit because I feel like she's holding back with him for some reason. I don't know. Maybe we'll see her exude more emotion with him next episode or something.
Well, what do you think about this? I know about this like body position. I mean, she's leaning back. I think that is like a good sign. Like, I'm not a body
Yeah.
analyst because there are people like that. Like, there literally are like specialists, but like, I think this is a
Ah.
good sign that she's into him.
Very romantic picnic on the beach. Clearly,
Mhm.
they're on some sort of date. So I see a little champagne glass by her foot there. So this is good signs all around.
Yeah, well, let's keep looking at some of these clips because I think Clayton might be getting a one-on-one date, which hopefully would happen if he's our next bachelor. So let's take a look at the next one.
The more time that I spend with Michelle, the more I realize that she could be the one.
Have you and Miss Young kissed?
Guys, I can't tell you that.
Ooh, so they're rollerblading, and I'm assuming these are Michelle's students that, that she is going to introduce Clayton to, which is also a really good sign if she's introducing Clayton to his kids. I mean, how far do we think Clayton is going to go? There's 8 men left. I don't know, he probably won't make the top 4, but this could be a hometown date. Who knows? How far do we think he's going to go?
Oh, I mean, I feel like he won't be in the top 4 just because it's like he's the next bachelor. It's like something must have happened. I don't know.
What happened
For
too
some reason,
fast?
my gut is just telling me that he's not making it in the top 4. I feel like he'll maybe be like the 5th person, and then it's like he
Mhm.
just missed it. But yeah, they're rollerblading. They look really cute. It looks like they were in like a planetarium thing, unless I don't think that was the real moon that they were kissing in front of, because that was a crazy shot. So maybe they had like a 2-part date where he met her students and they were like learning about science or something. And this clip when he said like, guys, I can't tell you that, like that was my favorite part of this entire trailer. That was the cutest thing ever. Like nothing is cuter than like seeing a guy that you're interested in like interact with, whether it's like your students, your siblings that are younger, your like whatever that are younger. It's any type of kids. Like it's so cute. So it's like a shame that he doesn't go far, but like I mean, he's our next Bachelor. There's no secret about it anymore.
He's far.
So,
he's in the top 8. He went pretty far.
Exactly.
Okay, I'm going to put out a prediction and go out on a limb here and say that he's going to get a one-on-one next week and that he's going to get eliminated on the one-on-one. He's not going to get the rose and he's going to get sent home and it's going to be really dramatic because he's going to open up and it's going to be heartbroken and everyone's going to be shocked and Bachelor Nation's going to freak out like they are today with the whole Hannah and Peter thing. Like, well, you know how Bachelor Nation goes on that thing. So I think he's going to go home next week on the one-on-one date. That's what I think is going to happen. But I really don't know. I did not look that up.
I'll get my tissues ready because that maybe that's the moment that solidified like, oh,
there needs to be a moment.
There needs to be like a redemption thing for him. Clayton for Bachelor, that's how he got into it. And if that happens, that'll be really emotional for everybody. So
because he's getting the one-on-one next week. That's what it seems like. It's also his turn to get one. I think him and Brandon should be next in line, considering I think everyone else has already gotten one pretty much besides Alu. But let's keep looking at these clips because Michelle is going to get closer with Joe. So maybe we can kind of dissect what's going on here because as we mentioned earlier, there's still some more tea that needs to be divulged.
It's just organic. We're only focused on each other.
I am falling in love with you.
There's nothing better than hanging out with this man.
But I remember seeing this last night. I was like, why does Joe get all the sappiest dates? He goes to her high school, prom, basketball. It's just like she's reliving her years where she could have been dating Joe. Because remember she said that she was like, if I knew Joe, I would have a crush on him in high school. Like Joe's that type of guy. It's almost like she's reliving those years with Joe as an adult. And like, I don't know if that's a good sign that they're like making up for like the lost time because they could have been together their whole lives. They grew up in the same place. Or if it's just like she has to live out those teenage years with him, like realistic, whatever. And then like it's a wrap.
Yeah, I mean, I was just gonna say that moment where she was like, "Oh, he totally would have been my crush in high school." It's like, well, here's the opportunity
Now
that
you're
you
in high
missed,
school.
and
Here's
you're
prom.
now you're going back to high school. But we did hear him say that he's falling in love with her. So it's like, is he gonna just say that on the next date? Like, when is that moment being said? Because that's huge. Or was that on a hometown date? Like, when was it?
This looks like
we
a
need to
one-on-one.
know. Clearly,
Oh, it could be his
he's
hometown date.
That's what I'm saying. It could clearly top 4. It's happening. Like you heard it here first on Shared News. But yeah, I mean, these
Or
two are always
you heard it everywhere.
together. You heard it everywhere. It's just no shock that they're making it. So
yeah, and I love a good prom date. It's a little cheesy when it's 2 people, but the Paradise prom on Bachelor in Paradise this summer, that was insane gold TV with Abigail and Noah. So I'm excited for another prom. But let's keep looking because it doesn't seem like Joe is going to be the only person to give the L word. So let's see who else might be falling in love with Michelle.
I'm truly in love with you.
You are this amazing person.
She's the only woman that I've
Martin.
opened up this much to.
I am crazy about you.
Okay, so Brandon and Nate, Nate says he's crazy about Michelle. I guess that's different. Brandon J is falling in love, and Martin is even sharing an intimate kiss with Michelle as well. Why is Martin still here? Like, how does this mean Martin could be going to the top 4 as well? Because I know a lot of people are pulling for Rodney and Rick, but it seems like we're getting more of Martin in these trailers than we are with Alu and Alu and Rick and Rodney.
that's just such a shame. Like, Michelle, come on. Like, you are a strong, independent woman. You know, like, where you stand. And this guy literally just says the dumbest things all the time. Like, I can only imagine what he says, like, off camera, like, to guys. And not to mention too, like he ran to the guys. I forgot to say this earlier. After he was telling Michelle that all women are high maintenance, he ran to the guys and was like, I was trying to tell her something and she just didn't understand what I was saying. And the guys were like, well, what were you saying? And he's like, I was just trying to tell her something and she wasn't understanding. Like, he didn't even tell the guys what he said because he knew that he was wrong. So I'm just like, he's not my favorite at all. Like, I'm hoping this is like, and honestly too, like we were talking about body language and like, I'm not a body language analyst, but like this kiss looks so awkward. Like she has her arms crossed and she's just like, I guess I'll kiss back. Like if I'm into
It's not the
somebody,
Brandon Shay kiss.
yeah, my hands are like around their neck or their head or like wherever. Like she's just like, So he's not going far. I hope not, at least.
I mean, he's kissing her, so that's a good sign. I mean, is she kissing everyone these days? I mean, there's 8 guys left, so I guess she's probably kissing everyone these days. But at this point, it's like you wouldn't kiss him if you didn't want to like progress. So I don't know, but not everyone can fall in love with Michelle. Like they can't all be in love with her. She only can pick one guy at the end. So let's take a look at this next clip to see who it might be narrowing down to.
I'm excited thinking about where we can end up.
They all have told me that I'm their person. But I can't be everybody's person.
Okay, Michelle has had some really good one-liners. Like, she's been such a good narrator throughout the season. Remember the first trailer when she was doing the poem and the soulmate? As a girl, I always wanted... Like, Michelle is so good at narrating the show in a dramatic way. I did not expect her to be so good at it. I almost feel like she's, like, top tier at it. Do we think she knows what she's doing, like, as a dramatic narrator for a reality show? Or do we think that she's just, like, being herself?
I think she's genuinely like being herself. Like all the guys this season have admired her confidence. Even Clayton was like, have you always been like this confident and on it? And like that's what she emulates. And that's what I love about her. And like, she's honestly like more timid if you compare her to somebody like Katie, who was talking about sex all the time and talking about this and that. Like she was very outspoken. She brought the dildo. And it's like, Michelle is very like she's timid, but when she says things, she knows what she wants and she's like not holding anything back. So I think that that's just part of her personality. And I think it is very like artistic and aesthetic in a way that makes her sound like this grand narrator, but it's just like she's a girl that knows what she's saying and she doesn't want to dance around her thoughts. She just says what she needs to say and that's that.
I'm looking forward to more of that because it gives me the chills hearing Michelle talk. So I can't wait to see her get engaged and everything. It's going to be so good. So let's keep watching. We have a few more clips and this is going to show even more details on what's to come in the final week. So we're going to get even more clues. And Gianna, we're going to have to give our predictions at the end, like top 4 or top 5 even, or even top 3, like real predictions. Because these clues, these trailers, they really tell you everything you need to know if you look closely. So let's look at our next clip. Whoa. I mean, every Bachelorette has at least one breakdown. I'm going to predict that this is like final 4 or final 3 because it's obviously not the final 2. Like she's at a rose ceremony. I think she handed out 2 roses and then she goes like to cry like off stage and then she has to like decide between 2 people. That is the picture that I am getting from this 3-second clip.
I mean, I can't argue with that. I agree with you. Like she's in a long dress, which indicates rose ceremony. She's looking stunning, even though she's crying. It has to be something, or maybe like maybe it's right before the rose ceremony when it's like, hey Michelle, who you gonna pick? And she takes a step outside, like after talking to all these guys, because she does have a great group of guys left. So I mean, yeah, I can't imagine being in her shoes and how hard it must be. So
She does look really pretty while she's crying. Thank you for pointing that out,
I
Shiana. She's
know.
stunning. She's killing it. But the season's it's gonna get hard for her, and that's what really happens when it's towards the end of your season and you start to develop strong feelings of love with so many guys. So Michelle's gonna need some advice, and it looks like her dad and her mom are going to be coming back. It was really nice to see them again this episode, but it looks like they're gonna be coming back on a future episode. So let's take a look and see if her dad is having concerns or if he is happy for her and some of the guys.
I know that I'm gonna have to break somebody's heart, but also my heart could be broken.
My concern is that he would become a jealous person.
So Michelle's dad is that her concern is that he would become a jealous person. It looks like they're in Mexico here. Usually what happens on The Bachelor is that they meet the parents of the lead, meet the final 2 men. Sometimes it's 3, depending on the season. Sometimes it's 1, because there's always a dramatic ending. But usually it's 2. Who do we think she could possibly be talking about? Because I would put, let's say, Brandon, Nayte, Joe, I would say are probably my top 3. So I would assume that she was talking about one of those 3 guys.
Yeah, and I think the one guy that she's talking about is Brandon, honestly, because like I said, he's head over heels. We see his passion for her. And sometimes when you like or love somebody that much, you tend to be a little toxic and get a little jealous. So I think that that's like what her dad was saying. And I also just love that the dad is giving advice, because he totally reminds me of like my dad. Like I don't really talk to him about relationship advice, but when I do, like he just says the right things. And it's like our dad's like being like, you know, he's a girl dad, so it's like that's his baby. Like he doesn't want to see her get heartbroken. So I just love that he's involved in this process.
And I'm loving this clip of her running through the grass. It's just so dramatic, like a little farm moment. This is what I want to see. I want to see this Midwestern, type of vibe, because I've never been to Minnesota, nor has The Bachelor. So it's like, show us the country. We don't need to go to all these football and baseball stadiums. We want to see the country and what it's like. But it's getting down to the final few frontrunners. So let's take a look at this in next clip to see what other drama is going to go down.
I want to let these guys know that's my girl.
Michelle deserves
Someone better.
You're an actor, and you've come on a reality TV show.
What are you talking about?
This is what I want to see. Clayton versus Nayte. He's an actor. He came on a reality show. And honestly, now I have to take back my theory. No, never mind. I don't know. Because they're the only 2 guys here. My theory was that maybe he goes home on his one-on-one date, which could be true, because, like, what if all the guys are on a group date right now, and then they're the 2 guys behind, but then Nayte already got a one-on-one date, so would he be getting another? But, like, what do we think is going to happen between these 2? Because all of the other sources of drama, the Chris S's, are gone at this point. So it's like, what could possibly be going down between them?
Do you think that this is one of those editing moments, though, where Clayton says something like that and then they cut and insert somebody else to throw us off? Because that's the vibes I'm getting. For some reason, I'm
Really?
trying to analyze the background. The backgrounds do look similar. The lighting's a little different. I don't.
It
I
looks
feel
dark
like
on
it's one of
Clayton's
these.
side.
Yes, so I feel like it's one of these like fake out moments. I don't know. I don't know. I really don't. It's
I don't
hard
know,
to
but can we
say.
go to this shot? Can we backpack to this shot when all those guys were walking in for probably a rose ceremony? Because I don't even care. Like, I need to see who is there. So Rodney's getting another
Yeah.
one-on-one. This shot right here. Let's look right here. We have Joe and we have Clayton. We have Alu, Rodney, and I mean Nayte
Rick.
and Nayte. Oh,
I see
Rick is there
Rick.
too. Is Clayton even there? Okay,
No.
that's Rick. I thought that was Clayton.
Is that Clayton?
So this here, and Brandon's not here either, which would be shocking because Brandon was, seen in Mexico in some of the other shots. But I feel like this is like a final 5 or a final 6 situation right here.
Oh, that's a hot take right there. I don't know, because
Is
this looks
it?
like I feel like this is maybe like next week's rose ceremony, because we're still not seeing all the guys
Okay.
turn the corner. So again, this is maybe one of those moments where they're like, let's cut just as these guys are about to come out to make it seem like they're not coming out. So yeah, this is always so interesting. I don't know what to say
Okay,
about
well,
it.
it
But
could
Rick's
be a
definitely
final 5 or 6 situation. I'm surprised that Rick is making it so far. Because, like, I'm trying to think who's on the chopping block for next week, and the only person I can think of is, like, Martin and maybe Alu, because they haven't had as much of a connection as far as the other guys, which would be sad. But Alu will definitely go to Paradise because he's so beloved by Bachelor Nation. But let's keep watching because we need more clues. We have, like, 3 clips left. The next clip we're going to show you is some hometowns. So this is really going to reveal all. So if you've made it far, like, if you've made it into this live this far, you know the tea is coming.
Do you feel like he could be ready for an engagement?
He's not there yet. I don't want him to hurt himself or you.
Wow. So obviously this isn't Michelle's dad. This is a hometown date. One of the guys' dads is concerned that one of the guys his son is not ready and that he's gonna hurt Michelle. I mean, whose dad do we think this is?
Well, when we get off this live, I'm sure you or me or both of us combined could find out in less than 5 minutes. But I don't know. I mean, okay, just this is what I'm gonna say. Because he's bald, I'm gonna say maybe that it's Joe's dad, just because Joe is also bald. I don't know if it's like a genetic thing. I'm just gonna go out on a limb and say that. But it's concerning to hear somebody's own father be like, yeah, no, he's not ready. He's not ready. If I were Michelle, I would have been like, okay, send him home. I don't even want to try. Like, goodbye. Like, that's terrifying to hear.
I kind of think it's Joe too, just because I feel like Nayte and Brandon and Rodney are so much more ready for marriage, and I feel like Joe is kind of shy and like reserved, and like I wouldn't be surprised if Joe would have like reservations or hesitations about getting down on one knee at the end, because I just don't feel like Joe is all in it, and I hope Michelle's not getting manipulated. So I wouldn't be surprised if this was Joe's dad. And you're right, we can probably figure that out. But this is going to be a dramatic moment. I love hometowns. Hometowns are so fun. There's always so much tea. But let's keep looking. We have a couple more clips. Clayton is going to be breaking down. And we know Clayton will go home. So maybe we can find out why or when in this next clip.
Oh my god. I feel sick to my stomach.
I just want Michelle so badly.
He just wants Michelle so badly. He's crying. See, this could be a one-on-one date where he gets sent home. Like, this really could be. How else do we think he'll get sent home? Just out of rose ceremony? He's crying right here. This is not rose ceremony attire.
No, and like, but their one-on-one date with the kids and the rollerblading.
That was a day portion. That was the day. This could be nighttime.
You're right. Oh, I was gonna say because he is wearing a different shirt, but it's like, why would he be in the like living room area ish crying? Like the shot right before this, it looks like he's in that area where like all the guys hang out. So I'm just like, and like hearing him say like, I just want Michelle so badly. Like, no one's ever said that about me. Like that is so cute.
Aww.
So cute. I hate to see him cry. It makes me. I'm like. I could cry watching him cry. That's how I feel, and that's probably why he's a Bachelor.
I mean, he became the next Bachelor. They probably got into filming like 2 months after Michelle's season wrapped, and there probably was conversations like right after. So I'm sure he's gonna be fine. He could be engaged right now. I think they just wrapped his season like last week. So he could be engaged right now. And I'm so excited for his season. Like, I love The Bachelor so much. Like, I like it more than The Bachelorette. So I'm just excited. Let's keep looking. We got 2 more clips. So everyone is breaking down in this next clip. I wonder why.
I could have stronger feelings for him than he does for me.
I don't want to let this woman go.
I'm terrified.
I don't want her to let me go.
Who do we think is saying that? That sounds like Brandon J.
I don't know because I honestly was very distracted. There was a shot of I think it was Clayton from behind, him sitting in that same shirt crying. Yeah, and it looks like he went to like her room, you know, when they're like, "Hey, Michelle, can we talk for a second?"
Oh.
Yeah, and then she's like, "You know what, actually, like I don't like you." And then he's just sitting there like crying. That's exactly what this looks like to me. So,
You
I
know
mean,
what?
unless she
You're
went to his
probably
room,
right.
yeah, and I think that this is their breakup,
Ooh.
honestly. I don't know like why, like because this looks like it's during the day. So it's not like he's in his night attire from the one-on-one date. So I don't know why I'm so stuck on this shot, but that's my big
Yeah.
takeaway from this whole thing.
You're right. See, because there has to be at least 2 guys going home next week. There's 8 guys left. I'm assuming there's 2 more episodes and then hometowns. So
Yeah.
I kind of think that he might be going home next week with Martin. And or there also could be a 2-on-1 coming. Apparently, that was a possibility as well. I saw that there might be a 2-on-1 that like that is coming back. So maybe Clayton could be on a 2-on-1, but with who? Like there's literally 8 guys left. I feel like there should be a couple more at this point. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it was like
With
they were on a
Nayte.
2-on-1 with Nayte, and then he found out that Nayte was some sort of actor, and then they started fighting after. Well, no, it can't be after because one of them might go home during the 2-on-1. I don't know. These trailers, they kill me. They really do kill me. But
That might make
another
sense.
thing, yeah, another thing besides Clayton that I noticed in this clip was the fact that what was the fact? What was I saying? Because it was very important. Oh, Michelle was crying in front of one of the guys. And it was during the soundbite where she was saying, "I think I might like him more than he likes me." And I believe there's Nayte.
It could have been about
And
Nayte. Because that's
yeah.
But like who knows? I feel like Nayte is really into Michelle.
I know. So again, I don't know if there was editing magic right there. So maybe they did a shot of Nayte and then a different shot of Michelle talking to somebody else and having a breakdown. It's they manipulate us, the editors. They really do.
They do. They do. Okay, well, we have one more clip. Literally one last clip in the entire trailer that we know. So if this does not give us a, heads up, then I don't know what will. And then we're going to do our picks. So let's take a look.
If I get to the end of this and he's not all in, I will be heartbroken.
Oh my God. So what? She's about to get engaged. Hopefully, this is like the setup. And it seems like she is putting her eggs in someone else's basket who might be like not all in, which is usually not what we see when it's the lead. Gianna, let's give our final picks. Why don't you tell me your top? Do you want to just give me the order on what you think's gonna happen? There's 8 guys left, so who's gonna get 8th, 7th, 6th, 5, 3, 2, 1? Is that too much to ask? Because I have mine as well.
Okay.
You just free ball it. You got this.
Who's going home next week? I think Martin for sure.
Please.
And then our Apple man. He's still here, right? What's his name again?
Rodney.
Rodney. I do think that he's gonna go home. We have not seen that much of him, and I don't think like Michelle vibes with him that much on like a deeper level than she does with these other guys. So I'm gonna say Martin's gone, Rodney's gone. Then Rick will be gone. 8, 7, 6, 5. I'm like, who else? All I know is like Alu. I'm gonna say Alu after Rick, and then leaving Joe, Nayte, Brandon. Did I miss
And Clayton?
somebody? Oh no.
Just Clayton.
So who could be the see now my head is spinning because Clayton is I don't think he's gonna make it to the top 4. So I'm like, who's the
I don't think
4th
so either.
hometown? Okay, so maybe Clayton and then
I think
Alu makes it
Rodney.
to top 4. Oh.
No, I think
Hot
because
take.
that we saw Rodney on a one-on-one date in the teaser. They were
Oh,
like having
yes.
a picnic, and Rodney already had a
Yes.
one-on-one date, so it's not like he can't get one next week. So that means he's probably saved next week. I think Martin needs to go. We all we all are on the same page with that.
Goodbye.
And I think Clayton might surprise us and go home next week, and then Alu and Rick will be 5 and 6, and then the top 4 will be Rodney, Brandon, Joe, and Nayte. And then it's like up for grabs. I mean, Rodney's probably 4th place, but then the top 3, I don't have an order for Nayte, Brandon, and Joe.
Okay, yeah. You know what? Everyone listen to Zachary because that's just correct. And now I agree with you after you going through it logistically. It makes so much sense. But yeah, I'm right there with you.
And who do you think she's going to pick?
Like I feel like for some reason it's gonna be Joe. And again, we're hearing her say she's putting all her eggs in a basket for maybe someone that's not all in. And then if that was Joe's dad saying he's not ready, it's like all the red flags were in front of her face. And then we see her crying. It's like, is he leaving her at the altar? Is he not, he's not going to do it? Like, I don't know. I'm so scared. I'm so nervous. I'm sweating already.
See, and you said this season was boring. Just wait, Gianna. The second half is going to be good, okay?
It's going to redeem itself starting next week. I'm excited. I have high hopes.
And also, Gianna, the finale of Dancing with the Stars is next Monday. And me and you are both very invested in that. So I almost feel like once we close out that competition on ABC, and then we have like a few weeks left of Bachelorette, everyone's going to be so much more invested in that since we don't have dancing anymore. Does that make sense too?
That's another thing. Yes, of course, because it's like, especially us, like we're not just watching it, we're like taking notes, we're getting ready for these shoots to report on all of it for our shared news fans. And it's like, it's a lot sometimes. We love what we do, but it's like, we got to watch Dancing with the Stars on Mondays. We got to watch The Bachelorette on Tuesdays. We got to watch all our other shows every other day. It's like, once Dancing with the Stars is over, I'm going to have like a night to mentally prepare for Tuesday, which is great to me. So I get what you're saying. It makes total sense. And you're right. So I think I am going to be way more excited once Dancing with the Stars is over.
That's where my head is at too, because this trailer got me excited. A lot is coming, and that is everything we have to share with you guys today. So fun episode live. Me and Gianna, we're happy to be back. We want to hear from you guys. We want to know what you guys think. What are your predictions, especially if you made it to the end? Did you see something in the teaser that we did not see? Give us your predictions, everything you guys think is going to happen. Let us know in the comments down below. And make sure you guys are subscribed to our channel and ring the bell so you never miss out. We are covering Bachelor Nation all season long, all year long. As always, I'm your host, Zachary Reality, joined by the lovely Gianna Gravalisi. Our social media handles are on the screen right now, so come give us a follow, come say hello. And that is all we have for today. So thank you guys for watching, and we will see you next time. Bye.